Hello, everyone, and welcome to the session on vegetable and vegetable gardens, only on your channel, Engrossing Agriculture. Engrossing Agriculture is one-stop destination for all the agriculture-related academic stuff and competitive exams, so which all you need to focus while attempting any of the you can say university exams or any of other exam which you want to give to clarify the agriculture competitive. So, without wasting much time, we will start with our session, which is based on vegetables and vegetable garden. There's a subject in which you have to learn about production technologies of vegetables, spices, and also other some plants which vary from university to university and from syllabus to syllabus. Because of the latest Dean Commission, the vegetable garden is a part of the syllabus of the subject production technologies of vegetable and spices. So let's start with vegetable and vegetable garden. So in this video, what all topics which we are going to cover are vegetable gardens. Then we have difference between fruit and vegetables. In most of the vivas in which you will be attempting in your university, the examiner, I guess most probably they ask about this question that what is different between fruit and vegetables. We will see what is different between fruit and vegetable, and the most common question which you come across is tomato a fruit or a vegetable? What is it? So that's also one of the interesting questions which we'll tackle in this video. Next, we have importance in economy. Like how is olericulture, which is the cultivation of vegetables, the olericulture is important to the national economy and the income of the various farmers and the laborers which are included in this sector. So yeah, we will learn about importance of olericulture in economy. Next, we'll come down to second part of the video, which is vegetable gardens. Vegetable gardens, what are vegetable gardens and what are types of vegetable gardens, we will understand in this video. Let's start with what is vegetable. Every day you eat vegetables in India. Most of the time, it's either one of the vegetable is made at one time of the day. तो जिसे हम हिंदी में सब्जी कहते हैं, what is सब्जी and what is vegetable. So the term, always if you are learning something from agronomy or something from soil science or horticulture, whatever you're learning, if you have a term such as vegetables, fruits, or pomology or olericulture, you must know from where is this term originated, or from where this term is found out. So that's really important. So this is Latin origin word in which you can say vegetable is from Latin origin, which is vegetabilis. Vegetabilis means growing or flourishing. As you know, vegetables are a bit fast growing, and regeneration is more than the normal trees. So it is growing or flourishing. Vegetabilis से originate हुआ है vegetable. Now, if we talk about definition of vegetable, we have food science and botany and agriculture. So all these three streams of technology and science have a different definition for vegetables. The cutlery, or means the food science, explain it as a thing which can be cooked and has a distinct flavor and is edible. Botanically speaking, it has a different definition, but as being agriculture student or a allied sector student, we must know which is the most widely acceptable agricultural definition of vegetable. So I found this is the non-woody. Always remember, this is a non-woody plant. The vegetables are non-woody. I don't think there's any vegetable which is woody in nature. The non-woody herbaceous plant. They are herbaceous plant. Like that means most of the parts of the plant are edible by the you can say herbivorous animals. Okay. The non-woody herbaceous plants which has edible vegetable parts, vegetative parts. So there are two types of parts in a plant, as you all know, vegetative and reproductive. The reproductive part are the flowers, the fruit, and the seeds. These all are the reproductive parts. Vegetative parts, whereas include leaves, stem, roots, other such as the tendrils of the plant, and all. Then we have rhizomes and suckers. All these are, although they are propagation of reproductive parts, but they are vegetative parts of the plant. In all the plants, herbaceous plants where vegetative part is edible, such as leaves such as cabbage, then stem such as asparagus, roots such as potato, and we have colocasia, which is arvi in Hindi. So all these things are vegetative and edible. So definition of the you can say the definition of the vegetable is the non-woody herbaceous plant, which has edible vegetative parts such as leaves, stem, roots, tendrils, rhizomes, suckers, etc. etc. Now, botanically, always remember the plant with fruits and seeds and edible parts are not considered as vegetables. That means, botanically speaking, the fruit which has a fruit is a you can say fertilized ovary. The swelled ovary is a fruit. So swelled ovary, if that is a edible part, that is fruit. So in which plants which are edible part as fruit or seeds such as walnut or almonds, there these are not termed as vegetables. So this will clarify the next topic. What is different between fruit and vegetable, and what is this tomato lying in between? So let's see. As I just said, that all the vegetative parts, if they are edible, it's a vegetable, and if they are fruits or seeds which are edible, then it's a fruit. Now, according to two definitions of the vegetables, tomato, as it's being eaten, as in eaten is in a raw form or cooked form, it can be eaten and can be added to dishes. According to the definition of the culinary, sorry, culinary science or the food science, tomato is regarded as vegetable. But being agriculture student and you can say botanical students, we must know tomato is botanically a fruit, as it is it has fruit. The fruit is the edible part and the seeds are the edible part. No leaves, stem, roots of the whole you can say tomato plant are edible. So that's why this is termed as a fruit, not a vegetable. But if you're studying any course in agriculture, yeah, if you're pursuing any course in agronomy or something, horticulture, you will be studying tomato as a vegetable only, because in India it is mostly produced and for use of vegetable, and it is in the public also it is termed as vegetable and used with other vegetable crops such as fruit, such as potato and other dishes. You can say multiple of dishes which has tomato in it as a vegetable. So we'll be studying tomato in the horticulture or agriculture only. But if a question arises, what is tomato? So if in the question it must be specified botanically, culinary, or agriculturally, what is tomato? So in agriculturally and botanically, it is a fruit, and if culinary, it's a vegetable. You must take care of this thing. Now, some scientific differences between fruit and vegetable. If someone asks you that what is different between fruit and vegetable, what can you quote? First, I will repeat the same point. The edible part of fruit is a fruit or a seed. Then in vegetables, the vegetative parts such as leaves, stem, roots, etc. etc. I won't repeat it again. Next, we have the nature of fruit is always acidic. Either it is slightly neutral or acidic. Never a fruit is alkaline in you can say nature. As being agricultural student, when I had my aviva, the external examiner asked me the same question: what difference between fruit and vegetable? I said multiple points, but I forgot this point: the nature of the fruit. This is the most important point which can come across. That the fruit are always acidic in nature. They have a acidic pH which is below 7, so that they have this tangy flavor in them, always citric in them. Different acid is oxalic acid, citric acids are present in different fruits. Now a vegetable. Vegetables are always neutral, such as cabbage or something, and a slightly alkaline sometimes, such as potato. The starchy nature of potato is alkaline in nature. So vegetable is always neutral or alkaline in nature. The fruit are woody and taller plants. This is not in every case, but majority of the cases, the fruit plant is woody. The exception is strawberry. If you take a look at the strawberry plant, it's not that woody, it's a herbaceous plant and not even taller. So majority of the fruits, except a few exceptions, we have that fruit is a woody and a taller plant. A vegetable is a non-woody and shorter plant. These are the three main differences between fruit and vegetables, which you can quote if someone asks you or in exam the question pop up. Always remember fruit are acidic and vegetables are alkaline in nature. Next, we have importance in economy. Olericulture in India is not in that developed stage, but still the production is second highest in the world. After China, India is the second largest producer of vegetables, and then we have vegetable crops in India occupies 2.8% of total cultivation land, producing 85.5 million tons of vegetables annually from an area of 5.8 million hectares. Now, if you're going for competitive exams, then you must take care of these figures. They get updated every year. So, if you're going for a competition in 2020 or 2021, so please take care to check these figures a month before the exam is taking place, because they get updated and you may receive new figures in the exam. So now we have India shares 12% of the production of vegetables in the entire world, which is pretty high. And if we invest more in olericulture, then more production can be enhanced, because India has not an advanced structure of propagation, but still it has a high productivity and high production, but not productivity. So we need to increase productivity, as it has very low productivity compared to many different countries. Next, we have the present production is not sufficient to meet the required demand, as we all know. Now, what is per capita day average? And the amount, the amount of vegetable required by per person, okay, per person per day, is the per capita amount of vegetable required in the nation, which is always estimated around something, and India lags far behind the per capita, you can say per capita income, per capita production of vegetables. Similarly, is with fruits. The fruit production is really high, but per capita consumption of fruit is very low, as the poor are not able to afford the fruits or the vegetables. This is the case in India and also other developing countries. Now, this is an important point you must remember for competitive exams and for 5 hours. Vegetable crops give higher yield. Okay, always remember, give higher yield per unit area as compared to crops. That means in a field, if you're sowing wheat, okay, for example, if you're sowing wheat in a field, and if you're sowing any other crop such as okra or bottle gourd, because it's the same season, so you will have more yield, more output than wheat in the field of okra and bottle gourd. You must take it. So this is for the farmers who face you can say less income from the cereal crops. They may shift to vegetable crops in the future. Next, we have most of the vegetables properly grown can give 6 to 8 times the yield than any cereal crop. As I just said, the vegetable crops are more powerful in giving income and returns to the farmer as compared to cereal crops. So how this will have the economy? See, if the vegetables are being cultivated by farmer, he will earn more. As the yield is more, the income will be more. So obviously, if the yield is more, then the self-sufficientness of the country. For example, if India requires 10 million tons of potato, fine. 10 million, for example, if India requires 10 million tons of potato for itself, and the farmers are producing 25 million tons, what will happen? So 10 million ton will be consumed by the country itself, and rest 15 million ton will be exported out. Obviously, that will directly influence what? That directly influence the income or the economy of the country. Moving down, we have there exists a lot of scope in increasing yield of the farmers. That's obvious. I won't be repeating the same points. You can go through this presentation. It will be there on slideshare.net. You can search Anshul Fogart there, and you will find this presentation, all the content available there. Next, we have the cultivation of vegetable crop being more laborious. Okay, that more labor intensive. That means it requires high number of labor. It will generate employment. Okay, it will generate employment for different sectors and different number of individuals in a field. That will help in employment and increase the income of the laborers and the you can say poor person, and increasing the economy. It's not like the vegetables directly influence the Indian economy, that if we grow more vegetables, the economy will boost up. No, but obviously it will have some factors on the income and of the wages of the labor, so that they can have a sustainable life. Next, we have the vegetable crops of short duration. One of the important point, unlike the cereal crops, which requires months and months to get ripened up, at least 4 to 5 months, which they require. The vegetables require 2 to 3 months to get mature and give a output. That's why you can earn more from vegetables than from the cereal crops. So this was all about vegetables, the water vegetables, and the different fruit and vegetable, how the it helps in economy of the nation. This was the initial part, in which include the introduction, scope, and important economy part of the vegetable. Now what we have is next part of the syllabus is vegetable gardens. Now we got to know what are vegetables. Now we need to learn where to grow them, and if we are growing them somewhere, what is it called? Okay, the classification of vegetable gardens was given by Thompson and Kenley. This is an important question which has been asked in the previous year competitive exams, and even in universities academic papers. Thompson and Kenley gave the suggestion of vegetable garden classification. Next, we have basis of production and utilization of products. Now, what is the basis? I should skip the earlier line. Thomas and Kenley classify vegetable gardens on the basis of production, like how much amount of production they're doing, and utilization. Like utilization means who are utilizing the product. Means it is the factory which are utilizing, the farmer is utilizing the product for itself, or the grower is utilizing for himself. Those all include what this the utilization of the product. So there are multiple classifications, multiple types of gardens. There are some pictures of different vegetable gardens. This is the forcing. This is the kitchen garden. And what is this? This is the, you can say, truck garden of a community. Moving down, we have different classification. These are the types of vegetable gardens we will deal in this video. If there are more type of gardens which are special types, such as hydroponics, organic farming, but they are not, you can say, proper type of vegetable garden, because hydroponics is can be done for vegetables and other crops also. But so hydroponics and organic farming we won't be dealing in this video. Future videos in which we have a full subject of organic farming, we will deal with organic farming in that subject. Next, we have types of vegetable gardens. You must know is kitchen garden, market garden, truck garden. Next, we have vegetable garden for processing, for seed production, vegetable forcing, floating gardens. So these all are very important. You must remember them by not by series, but anyhow you will end up remembering them in this series, because utilization of the land increase as we go down. So kitchen garden, market, truck, vegetable garden for processing, vegetable garden for seed production, vegetable forcing, floating, vegetable garden. Now we'll see them one by one. First we have is kitchen garden. What is kitchen garden? As the term suggests, kitchen. Kitchen is a house, place where you cook. So wherever you require a garden, which requires only small amount of crops, like for example, you grow tomato in your nearby lawn. You see, if you grow tomato in your lawn, okra, water guards, or something else, that's known as a kitchen garden. Defined as growing of vegetable crops in a residential house, means your own house where you live, or in their vicinity. Vicinity means आसपास का area. the nearby area where you have space to grow them. There's a vicinity to meet vegetable requirements of the family throughout the year. Obviously अगर आप small area में से grow करोगे, ठीक है, near your house or in your house, then you will have mixed type of vegetables to meet the vegetable requirement of a family. You won't be having a large production that you can sell it out. You'll have a small sufficient production that you can use it for yourself. Most Asian type of vegetable garden is a kitchen garden. Now, if someone asks me that how can I say it's the most Asian type of vegetable garden? Now, there's a small, you can say, segment. Let me just tell you. In the initial time of human existence, when a human started to settle down, he was a gatherer, right? Hunter and gatherer, nomadic life he lived. So he used to cultivate when he started to settle down. He used to cultivate small piece of land and a really small piece of land, only small piece of land to cultivate all this vegetable gardens. So he used to cultivate small cucumbers or some other uh, plants such as cabbages and all. Wild cabbage, not the real one cabbage which we are using now. Tomatoes, onions, all this he used to cultivate there for his own use. So he can his and his family can use them throughout the year. That's what is important. So this is the most Asian type of vegetable garden. That's why this is the type of most Asian. Okay, that's why I need to tell you this. Next we have extensive, vary from place to place. What is extensiveness? Means how much area are we using? How much area are we using and how much production are we getting from that specific area? So in rural areas, if it's found, rural people have more area than the people living in cities. So they can have low inputs and get a production which is sufficient for them. But in cities where the age is less, or you can say when the time is less, uh, there they need to use what is called intensive agriculture. Means high input and high productivity also. Okay, from a small area, a small area, if you're getting a high production, it's on intensive agriculture practices where you pressurize the land, a small area of land, to get a high production. That's intensive agriculture. So in cities, more of the time it's intensive agriculture which is being produced, or intensive gardening which is being produced throughout the year. So extensiveness is more in rulers, intensiveness is more in cities. This is a question which can be asked to you quite often. Now in cities we have roof and veranda gardens. Roof means अगर आप छत पे अपने घर के gardening vegetables उगा रहे हो. Now people think हाँ, छत पे कैसे? There are seed beds which you can get online or through any nursery. So they will get that on your roof and it will place the seed bed on your roof. Okay, and then normal cultivation right in the lawn or somewhere in the ground, you can have your own vegetable garden on your roof. If you want to know how to get a how to make roof garden of your own and what are the requirements, you can let me know in the comment section and I can make a video on how to develop your own roof garden. Next, vertical gardens are most popular. So this is the latest trend. If you get yourself updated, vertical gardens are being very promising and popular both at the same time in this recent time. What is vertical garden? If like this is the wall behind me, and on this wall if I make blocks like 1 2 3 4 and I just tilt them and insert some blocks in them and add some soil and plant a tree, plant a vegetable basically. So from the inverted block the plant will arise and they will be in a vertical sense. That's what is called vertical gardening. So if you have a big house or a bungalow kind of, you can go for vegetable gardening easily, so that you can have a it will also help you in interior decor and also give you vegetables not throughout the year but majority of the part of the year. These are a photo. This is a roof garden in India, and this is a also a roof. This is a terrace garden. See, as you can see, These are seed beds. These are the pre-formed seed beds. This is not a entirely full roof they're occupied. This is nice planning, as you can see. These are the guards, and these are the creepers you have. You see, you must have seen they have used these ropes over here. Why these ropes? These ropes are for the climbers, which climb along the ropes and get a support. So these are the ropes which they have used, or the structures and the spacing. So this is a proper planning of a kitchen garden which you need to find layout. Now for the planning, I can help you out. These are important points which you need to know for planning a kitchen garden at your house, in which we have land should preferably be selected in the backyard of a house. Okay, not in the front yard, because you don't want people to have a messy look of your house. If you have proper planning, you can even plan it in the front yard, but is major times it's said to have a backyard farm. So land preferably from backyard of the house. A rectangular is more appropriate than a square. And you must be thinking like, why? Why a rectangle and why not a square? Okay, that's a Viva question which external examiner is pretty happy to ask someone, that why a rectangle and why not a square. See, if you take a look out at the backyard or the roof of the house, it's measured times rectangular. Fine. And if you fit some square in it, it will be taking a lot of space and won't be giving a proper layout. Fine. Because we do not require a proper square to walk in. We need to optimize. We need to utilize the vertical length. We need to have a length of it. So area of the production increase, the optimum utilization of the same backyard or the roof increase when you use rectangular shape as compared to square shape. And also the rectangular shape are easy to, you can say, weed and all. How weeding can be done? If you have this length and it is this broad, you can do weeding easily. But if it's a square, like shorten up. If it's square, the weeding takes place more intensively in a square platform than rectangular. The weeding infestation increases. Next, we have layout should allow access to all parts of garden. Obviously, as you can see here, it is you have to walk from here, and then you can walk around and get to each and every point of the yard. So it should allow or access to all parts of the garden. Quick growing trees such as papaya, tangerine, lime should be located on the north side of the garden so that they don't shed the other crops. Obviously, now if you are growing papaya in your house, major like if in north and if you take a look, I guess at least 40 to 50% of the household in rural areas or in the city areas which they have the uh, side lawns with them, they do have papaya plant or a lime tree or a pomegranate tree. So what you need to do is plant a tree on the north side. Why in the north side? Because if you plant that tree in east or west, if you say east or west, then the sunlight will be blocked. See, if your roots are, if your vegetables are here, if the plant is here, and the sun is rising from here, the sun rays will be blocked by this plant from this tree from the vegetables. So if you plant in the north direction, not even in east and west, none of the, you can say, will be affected. Next, we have climbers should be trained on the fences, such as I told you behind over here. These are the climbers, as they are, you can say, they are along the sides. No climber is situated in between the garden. So they should be trained on the fences. Several sowing in a succession of sowing in one particular crop. That is, uh, a proper series of the, you can say, supply should be there. Like in summers, what should you sow, and then followed by January, February, March, April, May. There are specific months in which you need to sow your crop. Now ridges which separate the beds should be utilized for growing root vegetable crops. Now we need to optimize the, you can say, optimize the full capacity of the land we have. Now if these are the ridges, these are the ridges which we have in a area. So these ridges should, if you've grown vegetables here, these are furrows. You have furrows here. So don't leave these ridges blank. Use them to grow root crops, root vegetables. such as radish, turnip, or you can even grow potato in this. That will be easy. So always these furrows you can use to grow your normal crop, and these ridges to grow root crop. Root, not sorry, crop, root vegetable. Next we have interspace of slow growing crops should be fixed with rapid growing. That means if this is the plant, similarly, this is the, if these are the slow growing like cauliflower is a slow growing, cabbage, eggplant, they take more time to grow. So if this is the space in between, interspace, use this for quick growing such as turnip, radish, so that you have output throughout the year. Selection of crop. Always select crop for a kitchen garden on basis of two factors: size and choices. Obviously, if your family doesn't like fruits and all, like some vegetables, do not grow them. The yield should be there, cultivation season or grow according to season and all. These are some basic uh, crop productions which you need to take care by selecting a vegetable for your kitchen gardens. Now this is an important figure which you need to understand. I won't be taking much time on this. You can go through this anytime on SlideShare. As I've told you, search Anshul Forgot and you will find all these slides there in this uh, all these presentation there in this slide also. So you can go through the slide. These are the spacing. Like for mint, you got 15 into 15 centimeter spacing you need. Then you have for onion, 15 into 7.5 spacing you need. So take care of the spacing for getting a high production and quality of the produce. Market garden. Next we have market garden. As you can see, the area as compared to kitchen garden is more on the both of the figures. And if you have this much cultivation, I don't think your family will be able to consume it. So obviously now we have to sell it in the market. First thing is farm those produced vegetables for supply to consumers in a local market. Always remember it's a local market, nearby market which is 10 to 25 kilometers from the city, no, from your garden. Then only you can have a market garden there. It's not a big consumption or big farm. It's a small, it's a medium range production uh, supply chain, and in which you can go for any cultivation or of vegetables. It should be 10 to 15 kilometers from the city. The farm should be. The aim is to get a nearby market, local market. Then we have the transportation charges are almost negligible because it's a nearby area. The cost of cultivation. Okay, the cost of cultivation is not that high, and on and off farmers are there. See, maximum output from small and medium farm holding, intensive cultivation. Always remember this: intensive cultivation. The vegetable garden was extensive in rural and intensive in city. Grow early maturing varieties. See, if a farmer is growing early maturing, like if this is the season of okra, and if a farmer has grown early maturing variety, so he will be able to get okra in the market before the other farmers. So the consumer will be okay, like he's giving me okra right now, and the season of okra is also coming, it's just on the edge. So he will go to that farmer only. So early market. Then we also have he should be good marketing skills because there's no middleman. The farmer grows the crop in his field, take it to the cities which are nearby 10 to 15 kilometers and sell it by own himself. No middleman. So he should know where to sell it, how to sell it, and what all he practices he should choose to sell it properly. That was all about market gardens. Truck gardens. Now, this is the important thing which you need to know. Here, this truck garden doesn't mean truck wala truck. Okay, it's not. This is not the truck. This truck is not equal to this truck garden. Truck is originated from a French word which is troca. Like I do have learned French, but yeah, it's troca, meaning to barter. To barter means to negotiate. So this is the to barter, which is a French word. Such farms are located far away from the cities, like more than 15 kilometers or 20 kilometers, and do have a connectivity. Always remember, they do have connectivity from the main city to the farm. Labor and land comparatively lower because it's not an intensive agriculture, it's extensive agriculture. As you can see, the area of production is pretty big. Next, we have few crops are semi-perishable nature, grown on large areas. What is a perishable crop? What is perishable? खराब होने वाले. Like if you do not consume them or you do not sell them, they will get spoiled within 2-3 weeks or a month. That's not a perishable nature of a substance. Semi-perishable means if you do not sell them within time, they will get spoiled eventually after some time, and not like after a week only. After 3 weeks or 4 weeks, they will start to get spoiled. Cost of transportation is high. Mechanization is partly or wholly. The mechanization means these are machineries for harvesting, for weeding, for sowing, for cultivation. So machinery is used, but not fully. Then we have cost of cultivation is less. Next, we have vegetable forcing, different type. Vegetable forcing, what is forcing? Forcing means to force. You force a vegetable to grow off season. If this is not the season of like in summers you need to have carrot, but in summers the season of carrot is not there. So we force carrots to grow in summer season by how? Or we have controlled environment, which is poly house or glass houses or something. Vegetable forcing. And this method of growing vegetables are out of the normal season, as I told you. Net houses, greenhouses, glass houses are the artificial growing conditions. You can get about these other growing conditions in a presentation named propagating structures, which video I will also uploading soon. In propagating structures, you will come across greenhouses, glass houses, cold frames, hot frames, okay, and other propagating structures. Next, most common forcing structures are glass house and glass frames. In Indian condition, forcing is not possible. Why? Because it is expensive. Because if a carrot which is 30 kgs, 30 rupees per kg in winters will be having 100 rupees per kg in summers, people won't be buying that vegetable. Obviously, we are not this much developed in our country. Characteristics of vegetable forcing, we must know. Let's start. Cost production is higher because they are out of season grown. Structures are required, as I told you right now. Cold frames, greenhouses, hot frames, different are required. Is more and most intensive. Intensive means small area, high output. Then we have special techniques and knowledge. Obviously, if you're growing a off-season fruit or or a vegetable, then you need to have all the knowledge of the requirement of the vegetable. Environment controlled, specialized demand oriented. Tomatoes which are required throughout the year, cucumber, peas, asparagus. Asparagus not in India, but in other states like United States and Britain and all, they need require asparagus throughout the year. So these are grown through vegetable forcing. Now we have next is vegetable garden for processing. Now what is processing? That means a big scale production near to a factory. So if you want to make a tomato ketchup, then you have a tomato ketchup factory, and near to the factory you have tomato cultivation. You need to make sweet corn factory, maize cultivation near to the factory. That's vegetable garden for processing. Similarly, potato chips. If you want to make potato cultivation near to the factory. So these main objective gardens to produce, which are for supply to the processing factories. Right now I told you these gardens situated around the factory and variety are required. Same. Next we have this portion. Industry in India is growing fast. Okay, there are various plants which are being. Let's say take an example of Solon. Solon is a really popular industrial area, and near to that area, potato cultivation is done. Why? Because they require invest inputs such as for potato chips. We take an example of Patanjali, the most you can say popular brand of Organic India, which is being, I won't go in that top detail. Also have farmers which grow the required variety of produce nearby area. Characteristics of vegetable garden for processing. Market is assured. Always remember why, because in contract basis vegetables are grown. Like if they say grow 10 hectare grow potato. So grow potato, the variety of potato which the industry require, factory require, and they will be growing it. Cultivation is less intensive. Specific vegetable cultivated. Heavier soil are over. Always remember, in heavier soil more vegetative growth is there as compared to reproductive growth. Next we have these are the types of vegetables of different types. These are canning, freezing, dehydration, picking and canning tomatoes, peas, okra, sweet corn. All these are for canning. You can can them. Freeze means you in negative uh, in ice cold conditions which you freeze. Peas and sweet corn are most common as in even in India. Get frozen peas and sweet corns everywhere nowadays. Dehydrated means the water, all the amount of water in from these have been removed, so then they can last a longer time. If you add water, they will be hydrated again, not an issue. Pickling and fermentation, achar, जो भी अचार आपको याद है, you can write the name. Cucumber pickle is extremely popular in other countries. Rather, is not that popular in India. But if you go to Subway, you can find a cucumber pickle there. So cucumber, cabbage, cauliflower, carrot, chili, radish, everything is available. For seed production, now this is important. If you don't have seed for a proper vegetable, you can't grow them. Most of the vegetables are grown through seed, the packet of seeds which you get. So you need to take care the spacing between the vegetables, the isolation distance. So you need to take care of all these things. We'll talk about seed production in various vegetables, the tomato, brinjal, okra, and then we have eggplant. Obviously, eggplant, brinjal, same. Peas and all. We'll talk about in seed production subject. Here we are talking about gardens. Main objective is to produce quality seed for large scale under inspection of an organization. While a farmer is growing vegetable for seeds, then our organization, maybe it's a university, agriculture university or state seed production commission, they will have a keep a check on the farmer because seed is an essential commodity in the Essential Commodity Act of India. Climate, disease-free conditions, obviously they influence how what's the quality of seed produced. Then we have the owner of the garden should know knowledge of the crop, their growing habit, mode of pollination. Like if mango is pollinated, I'm taking an example of fruit by house fly. Then if a farmer doesn't know that house fly is a pollinator, then and if it covers the uh, plant with a green net and doesn't have house fly to pollinate the mango, it will not get the production. Knowledge about threshing, cleaning, grading, packing, and other stuff also should be known. Then we have this is expanding industry in India and also profitable growth. Now we take example of Corona, the flowers. The flowers cultivators have a heavy loss, but the flowers cultivators who grew flowers for seed production, they had no loss. The seed will be required even after Corona and before Corona also it was required. Seed production is a safe industry, I must say. Then we have characteristic features, strict supervision, climate conditions should be controlled, isolation practices, as I told you, no ex, gene impurity should be present in the seed, high skilled labor, high investment. All these important points which you need to write down in examination to know to get good marks in the exam. Next, we have a high invest of pests. So MCQ can be made from even these, like which is the vegetable garden require high investment for controlling pests and disease. So vegetable garden for seed production, simple. Go to the points, you will be able to do all the MCQ. Now this is the last type, Floating vegetable garden. As you can see, these are the floating on the water. These are boats. These are boats, and they use this in Kashmir in India, the lake. Vegetables are grown in water on a floating base like boat. Can be seen in Dal Lake of Kashmir in Valley. In such areas, land is submerged in water. This type of gardening can be followed. Normal, if there's a lot of water, waterlogging conditions are there, such as in Sundarban areas of West Bengal and Dal Lake of Kashmir, you can practice these cultivation practices there. Floating basin made of roots of typha grass or any other similar type of material. Typha grass, what typha grass? Typha grass provide nutrition and a floating base. Floating base is kept in the water, seedling is transplanted on leaf compost made of local vegetation grown in the garden area. Like if you have area, make a board, have typha grass there, then put a layer of compost, a mixture of soil. The ratios vary from vegetable to vegetable. 1:2, 2:1, 1:1. Vermicompost and soil mixture can use for the seed bed preparation. Normal cultivation, and then most of the summer vegetable crops are supplied from the Lake of Kashmir. Like if in Kashmir, then the lake provide vegetables there. Nothing more is there according to need of crop interculture. It's normal. Just the difference is it's on a boat or a floating surface on the water. Nothing else because of the low area availability. So that's all for now. Then this we conclude about vegetables, difference in fruit and vegetable. I know I took a bit of long time. Next time I will try to keep it more short and crisp. As this is the first video, guys. So yeah, we will meet you again on the next time. Maybe I will let me know down in the comment section which I need to improve or something which you need to more focus on. And that will be all for today. Keep also, yeah, I do have to say all this. Do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, Engrossing Agriculture, and also click the bell icon. Thank you so much. Tata and take care. Be safe.